Environment Education, South Regional Cell, Bangalore. So today I'll be explaining about increase your handprint and decrease your footprint. So from morning in all the sessions this was discussed, carbon footprint. So everybody know what is carbon footprint? Does anyone know what is handprint? No, right? So we will be discussing that in this presentation, and till then keep thinking what is handprint. I'll ask in the later stage. So I'll just briefly explain the basics of carbon footprint. So morning sir was discussing about what is carbon footprint. So can anyone say what is carbon footprint? Has a common man, like if you listen this word, carbon footprint, what is carbon footprint? What is carbon footprint? Yeah.
Quantity of carbon we are giving to the environment or releasing to the environment.
Just a second, sorry.
Nothing but the total amount of greenhouse gases that is emitted in our day-to-day activities. So morning Shruti ma'am was explaining what are our day-to-day activities. So in the day-to-day activities, how much of carbon that we are emitting, the total amount is calculated, and that is called your carbon footprint. So sir was even telling about ecological footprint. So what is ecological footprint now? Anyone?
In an ecosystem, how much of carbon is released from that ecosystem?
Okay.
Totally called as that ecosystem carbon footprint.
No, actually.
Measures we are taking to reduce the releasing of carbon.
No. So it's nothing but the measure of demand made by a person or a group of person on a global natural resources. The demand that we are creating on the natural resources. So that is called ecological footprint. So the difference between the carbon and ecological footprint is nothing. It is a measure of carbon dioxide through our activities, and ecological footprint is a measure of renewable and non-renewable sources. So here only the carbon emission is taken into account, but here both carbon emission and the impact that we are doing on the ecosystem is together is called ecological footprint. So this has a direct impact on the climate change, the carbon footprint. The ecological footprint has direct impacts that continue till the earth exists. The impact is there for lifelong. So before coming to this, for the carbon to sequester, there are only two sinks. One is ocean, another one is forest. So now I'll only focus on the forest. So in the forest, the main source of sink is trees. So to sequester 1 ton of carbon, how many trees do we require? Anybody can answer. How many trees do we require to sequester 1 ton of carbon dioxide?
Any guesses? No penalties for wrong guesses.
One tree. Okay. 1 ton of carbon dioxide to sequester. How many trees do we require? And an average. One answer we got. Anyone?
Some more, please.
Anyone would like to guess?
100.
100. Okay. 10. So let's see the answer. A tree absorbs almost 22.6 kgs of carbon dioxide in a year. So to sequester 1 ton of carbon, we need 31 to 46 trees.
Which tree are we talking about?
It can depend on the further statistics. Sir. It depends on the trees related thing. For the hazard tree, generally we need 31 to 46 trees.
Smaller tree ಅಂದ್ರೆ 30
Yeah, it depends. No, if the tree age goes on, at the younger age it will absorb more carbon. If the tree gets older, the carbon dioxide absorption rate also will decrease. At the maturity level, it absorbs more. So this is an example here. So if you have to sequester 4,700 kgs of a carbon dioxide from your transport industry, we need almost 208 trees. And to sequester your household related emissions, we need almost like 331 trees to sequester your carbon emissions. So now we are coming to handprint. So what is handprint? Anybody can guess?
Planting.
Yes, sir?
Planting.
Okay. I mean, what is that? You're planting a tree. What is that? It's
Taking
called
measures, what measures we are
Measure
taking?
to reduce the
carbon
Steps
emissions.
we are taking to
Okay,
reduce.
footprint. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
That's what measures or activities to reduce the footprint.
The
That's
action that you are taking to reduce your carbon emissions. Yes, that is called handprint. So handprint was started in 27 November 2017 by Center for Environment Education at UNESCO's 4th International Conference that was held in Ahmedabad. So this, from then on, since then, India is celebrating this as a Global Handprint Day. So 27 November is called as Global Handprint Day. So this handprint, as ma'am and sir said, it highlights about the positive actions that we are taking to reduce our carbon emissions to create a sustainable lifestyle for our future generation. So I'll just show some glimpse of our Handprint Day celebration. We celebrated 10 years of Handprint Day. So you can see here, this person is our director and the founder of Center for Environment Education. His name is Srivatha Karthikeyan Vikram Sarabhai sir. So he's the son of Vikram Sarabhai sir. So who's the founder and known as father of Indian Space Research Organization. So he's our founder, and this is some glimpse of our Handprint Day celebration that held. So this is our handprint logo. So it says handprint and action towards sustainability. So there is a small story on this logo actually. There was a 10-year-old girl who attended our CE project in Ahmedabad, and that there was an activity that was held in that. So they told all the school children to just draw something, that action that you would like to take to reduce your carbon. So that girl, what she did is, she has printed her handprint on the sheet and she gave. And someone found very interesting and expert and called her on stage and asked, what is this that you have done on the sheet? So the girl said, this is my action. Today I am pledging with putting my handprint that I'm going to take actions to reduce my carbon footprint. That idea that she gave impressed the experts and they made this logo. And she is the girl who gave this idea. And now today her handprint is become an international symbol for creating a better world. It became an international symbol. She is the girl. She was 10 years old.
She's the same lady.
No, she's a different one. So she's just showing the action. That's all. Later on, now this handprint has become an international negotiation, and we worldwide you can see many countries have accepted our handprint thing, and they have implemented in their studies and research, and even in the education system. And these are some of the organizations which they're using our handprint technology and the handprint initiatives in their studies. You can see research schools are there, research institutions are there. So if you want to know more about our handprint, you can visit our website. This is our website, www.handprint.in. There was a handprint calculator also. Now we are actually working on upgrading it because the handprint calculator was made for the school kids. So now they are actually working on that to make for adults and college students. So I can go ahead? Yeah.
So all of these PPTs will also be shared
Yeah.
on the table.
On the dashboard it will be updated.
Eventually it will be made available to everybody.
So, have you ever wondered what is your carbon footprint? Have you ever tried to calculate your carbon footprint? Anyone here? No. So, let's do one activity here. So, we are using this website. It's called EPAM Carbon Footprint Calculator. Why we are using this only is because, see.
How many of us teach the carbon footprint in our colleges? Anyone
So,
teaches? One, two people.
so even you can raise. Even in our department they teach. Yeah. So this is one website. There are many websites. I'll show other websites also. Why we are using this only website is because CE has a collaborative project with EPAM. EPAM is an American company which mainly deal with development related, like engineering related aspect. So they have done this carbon footprint for their employees to know what is the carbon footprint so that they can take action then and there. So the website link and thing is there. I'll just show manually how to do your carbon footprint. So later that will be your home activity. So after going your home, you can calculate your carbon footprint. So you should. Browser and type EPAM carbon footprint calculator. So you can do it after going home because there is a network issue here, so we are doing it as a home activity. So the first link you can see here, this is the link that you have to click on. So you can see, what is it? I had a word for it, so I'll just show
This
there.
is called meticulous planning. Very nice. Thank you.
So, as I said, this is the first slide it will start. You have to press on start button. So the first sector it will show is the transport sector. So in the transport sectors, two slides will come up. Transport, the first question will be what type of transport did you use last month? So you can put what transport you use. It can be your bike or electric vehicle, bus, everything is there in the list. So you have to select one and press next. And the next question will be how much time did you take spending on that particular day? So how much hours you would have said I'm doing work from home or something. Or you can select on that work from home, or if you're going in the travel in the bus especially, only for the bus it will take. So how much hours did you spend on computing your that day in the bus? And the third question will be how much time did you spend on personal trips last month in the bus, mainly in the bus. So if you say I didn't went any of my personal trip, you can select this. I did not use this vehicle. So then if you have used that vehicle, you have to put how many hours of journey was that in your personal trip and press next button. So then it comes to house. For the household, we will be basically checking the details of your resource consumption, like water, electricity and things. The first question will be how many people in your house are living, because here we are calculating the individual carbon footprint, so we want to know how many households is present in your house. So you have to enter number of households here and press next button. And the next question will be how much electricity did you use last month. So when you go to your electricity bill, you can see here there is a consumption given 253 consumption in units. So that you have to So here you can see I've put some calculations below. So this is the formula that you have to use. Consumption in units divided by number of households. So your consumption, individual consumption will be so much. And that consumption you have to enter there.
Number of households is number of people? Or
People. Household means one person. How many are there? 2, 3 or 5 like that. The next question will be, how much of water did you use last month? For the water, you have to same way. Your water bill you can check, and it will be written here. Your consumption in liters it will be there. So this is a formula you can use. Consumption in liters divided by number of households into 1000. Why I have put into 1000 is because the conversion factor from liters to cubic meters. It should be converted into cubic meters. So that's why into 1000. So your individual water consumption in cubic meters you can calculate. Next is food. So here you have to, just one question is there. What is your food preferences? It can be diet food or balanced food, both non-veg, veg, or only veg. Like that, options will be there. You have to select one in that and press next. Next is pets. Most of us will have pets in our house. So here you can see cat is there, dog, rodent, and if you press others, you have other pets also like rabbit, parrot, all this. So how many pets you have to select that and press next. Then comes your travel. So this travel consists of flight, train, all these things. So here you can see, here it is asking number of hours of your flight you took last month. If you say 0, you can keep it as 0 itself. Or if you have some flights that you have taken, or domestic or international, just put number of hours here. And then even the train also. So train journey, like how many hours you have taken. So you have to just put that hours and click next question. So then the next question comes is, how much of money you spent on your personal travel in the last 1 month. So this, you can see questions here: travel agency, how much you have paid, hotel services, recreation services. All these questions will be there. This is in because it is an American company. They have kept this in dollars. It is in the dollars. So that's why I've kept the calculation thing. So every time whenever you do your calculation, you'll be putting in your Indian rupees, and that should be converted to dollars. So and the dollar amount you have to put here. And I have put the note here, convert the amount from Indian rupees to dollars. And $1 is 1 rupee is equal to $1 is equal to 82.33 rupees. So convert that and you have to put. The next is goods. For the goods also same thing. You have to follow what you followed the previous question. Here also it is in the travel. You can see alcohol, soft drinks, tobacco products, how much you've spent. Textile, cloths, leather, plants and vanishes, like paints and vanishes, rubber, glass products or electronic products, electronic equipments, or if you have bought anything. So you have to put that much of amount here and convert that to dollars. And same thing for the services also. So these are some questions that is there. So you have to put how much you have spent on all this. It should be your individual. Education is given here. You should not put your children's education expense. If you are doing anything apart from your college, if you have joined for any other courses, you have to put what expenses that you are putting on that. So at last you have to press on calculate. So this is how your result will be visible. So you can see here. This is the carbon emissions that per month I have, and each sector has been displayed here. And here it shows one thing, that is to sequester this much of carbon, I need 144 trees to reduce my carbon footprint. So this is one thing it is showing, and here if you press on this recommendations, it will show other recommendations for each sector. For the diet, what you have to follow, and for the food, everything for each sector, it will show different recommendations. You can follow all these recommendations to reduce your carbon footprint. So these are other websites which you can use to know your carbon footprints. Not only EPAM, you can go and visit other websites in the Google. If you browse, You'll get so many websites to calculate your carbon footprint.
Any of these is in the Indian currency?
Yes, so one is in Indian currency, this first one.
Carbon independent.
Tata also, tatapower.com, that is also Indian currency. But what is the problem is in the Tata only they're calculating the carbon emission from the transport industry. It is only there for the transport industry and electricity and things, how much you're spending, not all the sectors that is covered in the EPAM.
It's an incomplete calculation.
Yeah, it's only basic they're knowing.
Carbon independent.
You can visit any of this and you can see which is useful for you. So now, till now we discussed about carbon footprint and handprint. So I'll just say, as Sir said, at individual level we have to take steps to reduce our carbon footprint. What are the steps that we can take at the household level? So one, that when you're buying an electronic gadget, everyone say that just see the sticker that is put on that, how much of power it consumes. So seeing the power consumption, we have to buy it. If it is consuming more or less, seeing that we have to buy our electronic gadgets. Like use efficient LED bulbs, and also the compost. Sir was explaining the kitchen waste can be compost instead of giving to the vendor, collector, and also recycling our plastic waste into creative things at home. Like you can see in the Google, YouTube. There are so many videos from which we can make creative items, handmade items. And also fans we should use more instead of AC air conditioners. And use recyclable batteries and things. And if you visit our website, if you go to handprint action, there if you go on the last part, it is blue color it has been given. If you press on that handprint action, if you go down, you can see this 25 tips to reduce your carbon emissions. This is in even other resource materials also you will find here about carbon increase and carbon reduction, what you have to take actions. So now it's handprint activity. As I said, there was a calculator, but we are not able to use that right now. So what is the activity that I want you all to make is? So this was the activity even your previous batch also did. So they have put their handprint on the sheet, and they have written one step that they will take to reduce their carbon emission. One step, maybe planting a tree, or using a public transportation instead of using my private one. Like that, they have written their one action, and they've done their signature here, and they've done a pledge here. So you can see some photos here. Yeah, they're putting the handprint and they're writing their one pledge that they want to take, and this is how it is given. And the colors that is used is food colors. So don't worry, it is not a chemical base. Nothing will happen to your hand. Okay? So before I end my thank you thing, I just want to share some experience that I have been. So I was saying that EPAM, we are collaborating with them. So on an environmental day, we do webinars for the employees to educate them on environment and climate, and making them a climate warriors. So that is the main project that we are dealing with them. So one presentation we were doing, and one of the employee of that asked us one question, and it was also a suggestion, both question and a suggestion. The question was, for an individual to sustain on this earth, how many houses that he need? How many houses does an individual need to live on this earth? One is enough. Everyone agree? Then why we will buy more than 1 and 2, 3?
Brothers, sisters.
Yeah. So if we buy only one house, it's more than enough, no, for us to live on this earth. Why we want more than 1 or 2, 3, 4 houses? This is how we are converting all our outside the forest areas. Now Bangalore was so small before. Now if you see Bangalore, it has become so big. All the outer spaces where the forest was there, now we can't see the forest. Everything is now called as a peri-urban area. So this is the change that we are getting. And what suggestion he gave us was, whenever a person is going and claiming for his property thing in government office, increase his tax to double. So if you increase the tax double, with seeing the tax amount, he should get scared and he should say, no, I don't want another house. 1 hour is enough for me. So this is what the suggestion that that employee gave, but he was from engineering background. He's engineer by profession, but he gave this. But he has a concern towards the nature. So that's what we get to know from him. Another example is there. When I was doing an interview, one expert told me that one of their family stays in Bangalore, and they wanted to construct a house in the Bangalore side, and they called an engineer to ask to design their house plan. So that lady of the house wanted a space in front of her house and the backyard to have a garden. So they asked the engineer for the suggestion. So how we have to plan, and what the engineer would have suggested her. You can guess. Why waste money? Okay. Space, yes.
Instead of wasting that space, construct one more small room or house, you can give it for rent.
Yeah. This engineer also suggested in the same way that why to waste, ma'am, in Bangalore the property rate is so high, you are having this much site is great, and in that site you are constructing, you want a garden in front of you, instead of that, construct the entire site with the house, later you can have a small parts here and there for a decoration of your house. So that's what the engineer suggested. So that's why we are all here today to educate every sector student about environment and climate education. So that when they come out of the college, they won't suggest like this to the public. Right? So by saying this, a 10-year-old girl can take an action to reduce her carbon footprint. Why not adults? We adults here. So that's why I would like to say that we can contribute to reduce our carbon footprint and offset our carbon and make India the carbon neutral. So also our Prime Minister has pledged in 6th that by 2070 we will become a zero emission country, right? So zero emission of carbon dioxide. So for that we have to also support for the government by taking individual steps at our households. So with that I would like to say thank you for everyone for your patience listening from 45 minutes. And I request everyone to bring your carbon footprint, and as soon as you come morning, at the registration we will keep the handprint thing. You can give your handprint. Knowing your carbon footprint, what action would you like to take? You can just give your pledge there. Thank you.
Thank you, Kavya. Just to add to Kavya's point, someone also have something known as inheritance law. Suppose when you have to pass it on to next generation, 30% of it is direct government endowment. Only 70% is owned by your next, and that is again taxed with their capital gains and income tax. So people are finding it as a deterrence. So we have to be even innovative in terms of why are we holding so much, why are we consuming so much, to add to what Kavya was telling. Thank you so much. I hope you also enjoyed this carbon footprint. It also helps us reflect how we can make changes at an individual level. So that brings us to the end of day one's interaction, which was all about developing and understanding participant perspective on climate change, as well as we also touched upon some impacts. We also looked at some facilitative methods, how we can bring about this thing. I would like to quickly 4 volunteers. We had a couple of speakers. Mahesh sir spoke, Prithvi sir spoke, and then there were other 2 speakers. I want volunteers to just quickly summarize about one particular speaker, a very quick 4 points that they can take away from today. So I will start. This is voluntary, right? So I don't want to. Anybody can say. So you